Hello, welcome to our talk show for sustainable tourism organized by World Halal Tourism Exchange. Welcome, Miss Mariana from Athens, Greece. Good evening.
Kalispera,
Yeah,
Mr. Kabo from Greece. How are you doing?
okay. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Fine, thank
Yeah,
you.
first of all, our apologies because Mr. Shasman has some urgent matters to handle. So tonight I'll just be your temporary host for this 30 minutes talk show.
No,
And I think, I think what most people are concerned at the moment is that is it safe for us to travel to Greece at the moment, and even if we are allowed to travel to Greece at the moment. But then, before we go into all these questions,
mhm.
perhaps Miss Mariana, you can tell us a little bit about your background, yourself, your professions, and where do you come from?
Okay. Uh, as I said, Kalispera in Greek. Well, first of
Yeah.
all, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Mariana Hanna. I'm responsible for the outgoing and the incoming department in our agency. I grew up in the travel industry since my father is the owner of Mina Tours. And
Wow.
yeah, as long as I remember myself, I was involved in tourism in younger age every summer.
Wow.
Um, yeah, our travel agency is a family travel agency established in 1988
I
by
see.
Anna, which is my father. We are located in the center of Athens, which is the capital of Greece. We are specialized in incoming and outgoing tours. We provide a high quality tour and travel services for both international and domestic travelers. And we are known for our planned programs for individual travelers and for group as well. We work for if in every sector for of tourism. We offer air and ferry boat tickets, hotels, packages, cruises, transfers, everything. As a
I see.
company, yeah, as a company, our mission is to persuade
I
every
see.
yeah. Uh,
Okay. I think you have some line lagging from your side at the moment, but anyhow, we hear you quite clearly at the moment. So I think growing up in travel industry, family, and running a travel or tourism related family business will be quite a blessing. And
yeah,
you might be very well versed when it comes to tourism related to Athens, related to Greece. So as far as we are concerned from this side of the world, Greece is indeed quite famous for its cultural heritage, and then for its beautiful beaches, and then
exactly.
even the Olympics and all the Western civilizations, they are originated from this part of the world. So could you share with us a little bit, besides the beautiful beaches and all the natural wonders, what do you see is going to attract more and more people to go and visit Greece, specifically Athens?
Well, Greece itself has many aspects. It's not only beautiful beaches, but you can see the geographical place of Greece is located in the center of all the countries, and it's one of the most spectacular countries in the world, blessed with natural beauty. It's one of
Yeah,
the most popular tourist destinations, as it has the perfect mix of wonderful landscapes, amazing history, and rich tradition. As we said, the country it has an important history from the 7th millennium before Christ. It has a fascinating and interesting past, historical monuments in Greece and the Greek islands dated from all time periods, from the Mycenaean and the classic time till the medieval and the modern era. Uh, Greece is divided into three main geographical sections if you want to learn more about Greece. First is the mainland. Second is the Peloponnese, which joins the mainland through the Corinth Canal. And what makes it magical, as you said before, are the unforgettable and approximately 6,000 larger and smaller islands and islets, which are scattered throughout the country's maritime area, either alone or a part of island complexes, thus forming the only Greek archipelago on the European continent. They are not on
I
all
see.
inhabited.
Okay. Okay. Um, I think for the location wise, other than Athens, we are also quite familiar with the word Santorini. So that must be
Yes,
quite a beautiful place.
yes.
I
Santorini
see. So how far is
is
it from Athens?
it's one of the Cyclades complex islands. Um, it depends on the high speed or the normal boat you're going to travel with. Some are 6, some are 12. It depends on
I
which way
see.
are you going to travel with. Yes, and with the airplane is much less.
I see. Looking at the vast type of geographical or the geographical varieties that Greece has to offer. So,
Mhm.
how would you see the type of tourism packages that Greece has to offer its tourists?
I'm sorry, I couldn't. What I didn't heard you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What kind of tourism packages that Greece would have to offer its tourists? Let's say, for example, would tourists from other side of the world they will go to Greece specifically into a single country visit, or do you have any kind of like a European tour package where Greece is part of the package?
As I told you before,
Yeah.
Greece is for all tastes. It has many aspects, plentiful of aspects.
Yeah.
It has a rich ancient culture and can be considered as a mosaic of different experiences and landscape, as well as one of the world's largest open air museums.
I
Um,
see.
there are many aspects. We can see
Hmm.
the caves in our country, the sensational Greece. We provide programs that combine guided tours of the majority of the archaeological sites founded on the Greek island and on Athens and in
I see.
everywhere in Greece. Yes, shopping, walking in traditional settlements, swimming in fascinating beaches. Moreover, cruise on the Greek seas gives you the opportunity to visit important archaeological sites, monuments of more
Yeah.
than of more than one island, so you can spoil yourself in many islands that period. We
I
have
see.
the caves, as I told you before. We have
Yeah.
the therapeutic holidays. We have the religious tourism, sport tourism, conference tourism. It's for all
I see.
tastes.
I see. So can I safely say that actually you do offer a variety type of tourism packages such as the natural wonders, like the UNESCO or historical sites visits, like religious specific tourism packages, etc., right?
Yes, we have many of them. It depends on which group,
I
what
see.
kind of tour.
So
Yeah,
okay, so that means most of the packages could be customized or custom
exactly, exactly.
arranged, right?
Yes,
So I think one of our audience would be pretty much interested would be when in terms of halal tourism. So what do you see the size of the market of halal tourism when it comes to inbound or inbound to into Greece or Athens?
I will tell you. The fact that Greece is the
Yeah,
crossover between East and West, and we are located on
yeah,
the Mediterranean, we share the same sea with many of the Middle East countries, makes us connoisseurs of halal tourism. In fact, we are Greek
I
Egyptian
see.
in our origin, so we know both cultures. Almost
Okay,
one, yeah, 1.2% of Greek population are Muslims, and that makes us sense and respect their beliefs and needs. Something else I would like to tell you that in Greece, the halal tourism um, is well known to Greeks because Greeks always respected any religion. To Greeks, the only thing that matters are people. No color, no religion, or
yeah,
language matters. So Greece has a rich Islamic heritage, which dates back to the 14th century when it came under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. The early Muslims stayed here for over
yeah,
than 500 years. And the majority of the churches around the country became mosques under the Ottoman rule. In fact, the pagan temple, the Parthenon, if you know it, in Athens, was once a mosque. And there are several about food. There are several halal eaters in Greece, also hotels and big restaurants. On request, you can provide a certificate of halal meals. And we also have here our first and unique religious official certification center of halal in Greece. It's up in Thrace, north in Thrace. And we also, in our everyday, if you go to the supermarket, any Muslim can find products with halal certification sign.
Okay. So, I mean, it is safely for us to say that actually Greece is a Muslim-friendly travel tourist destination, right?
Exactly.
I see. Yeah, that would be great. I think this is what
for all tastes.
Yeah, I think this is one our audience is very interested to get to know about. And then besides these halal tourism things, I think what matters to most people at the moment now is about the pandemic situations. So is Greece still in a lockdown situation, or I mean, when do you see that things will be going back to normal again, as what we know in the tourism industry?
Well, Greece's tourism minister has said travel will take place only under specific new rules. And this week he prepares to propose ways of salvaging the sector with his European Union counterparts in the era of COVID-19. He will put new rules for hotels, beaches, pools, breakfast buffet, tour buses traveling with airplane, and so on. Also, we are waiting for announcement about how the regulation will work and what they will look like. Health and safety measures, including COVID-19 immunity certificate, will be high on the agenda of, as he said. So the possibility of passenger being subject to temperature checks or pre-flight blood test is also likely to be raised.
I see. So that means we won't be expecting things are going back to the norm as we know it before the pandemic, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think anything will be normal. But we all are trying, because if as a country we did what we was told exactly, and that's why we have until today only 2,836 infections and only 165 deaths. Yesterday only, as I told you before, we had only 2 infections. Yes.
I see. That's quite an encouraging situation we have here at Greece, right? Yeah, that's great. And I think
Greece was one of the quickest countries that took actions against this pandemic.
Yeah. So I think you guys are doing great with these kind of numbers. And what are the travel industry people doing at the moment at Greece? Looking at, I think people are quite self-regulate. I mean, they take the precautious level very, very seriously. And then what are the people in the travel industry actually doing now, looking at the situation that people cannot really freely move around, and it's like kind of like half lockdown situation?
Yeah, unfortunately, the worldwide outbreak of COVID-19 has brought the world to a standstill, and tourism has been the worst affected of all major economic sectors. However, the confinement measures have brought the tourism industry to a halt. Without tourists, the industry is on pause, and global tourism has been among the hardest hit industries, but by the public. But we are waiting for more rules to
more room to actually start getting things back to how it should be.
In Greece, tourism account for 10.2% of the gross domestic product.
That would be quite a big amount of the. So that means things has been coming into a standstill like for how long already in Greece?
Well, we were in lockdown from March 23.
I
We
see.
opened, yes, but we are not in lockdown anymore. But we haven't opened anything. We go step by step as the government
Yeah, I
says.
think
We just, yeah,
yeah, I think it's quite similar to Malaysia. I think if not mistaken, Malaysia we had a lockdown in 18, I think 1 week earlier than Greece. But we are also in slowly opening up things, and then I think people around the world are doing quite similar things so that we really can go through these pandemic challenges and all that, right?
exactly.
So yeah. Let's say from an industry player points of view, how would you sail through this from your personal perspective? And besides what you mentioned just now, like looking at what government is telling the industry players to do, is there any, let's say, a personal initiative or from your business perspective that you are taking proactive measurements to get yourself more ready after things are going back or things going or moving into the new normal.
Is there any? I'm sorry,
I mean, is there
the
any
line is
proactive
not.
or is there any proactive measurement or
Mhm.
any activities that you are doing now that you are actually preparing yourself to let's say to get yourself ready for what is going to happen after the market slowly open up and that means when tourists start coming in back into Greece or Athens, etc., etc.
Well, the Greek Health Ministry announced that it was drawing up an action plan complete with measures to be implemented on the Greek island and at mainland destinations in order to meet the potential
Yeah,
health needs, yes, of visitors and tourists in the aftermath of
yes,
coronavirus. And the government also has put a plan for a gradual and closely monitored return to tourism, initially with domestic travelers. Domestic, which means first the European, and then,
yeah,
yeah, the other international. They also announced that travel to the islands was set to begin on 25th of May, and on the 8th of June, the first hotels would open. And they are working closely with the health experts and epidemiologists on a plan that takes into consideration the number of operating hotels, islands, transport infrastructure, such as the existence of an airport and helipad, ferry link frequency, hotel and room capacity, the number of serving private and public doctors, as well as the emergency services. So we are waiting for this week. I think we are waiting for new announcements.
I see. I think you actually pre-answered the last questions that I'm going to about to ask you. Yeah,
It was exactly this. Every question is for coronavirus is.
yeah, it's like somehow connected, right? So actually, we do have a travel section, travel information section in our website that we hope that we will be able to receive some of the tourist spot information that you are going to introduce Greece and Athens to our readers sometime in the near future, and so that they can get back
I can do
or
it
get
right
in
now
touch
if
with
you
you
want.
when they plan.
I can do it right now if you want to introduce Greece. It's the easiest thing.
Yeah, you can send to me, and then I think we will get the
Okay,
upload done very soon. Yeah.
sure. Okay.
So just make a repeat that I heard that you are saying that the first hotel is going to start operating back or open back to the public by around 20 something in May, right? 26 or 27.
In the islands, the in the islands, we will start at 8 June if everything goes as the plan, according to
Yeah,
the plan that the Prime Minister have put with the health minister.
I see.
So
Yeah.
yeah, if everything goes according to the plan, he said that we will open for tourism July 1st. Yes. with protocol that will make sense not only for to the people who want to travel, but also to our tourism industry.
I see. July 3rd.
July
I
1st.
see.
Yes.
July 1st. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, because I think the line we are having some
Yeah, I know.
lagging and
I
then.
know.
Okay, I think, yeah, hopefully things are getting well and getting more and more better as time goes by, and hopefully everything is going back to the new normal, maybe the
We hope
soonest
so.
in June or July. And yeah, so before we end our session, I'm checking if we have any questions from our viewers, but it seems like we don't have any question at the moment.
Okay.
So before we end our session, do you have any further comment or further advice that you would like to give your peers in this part of the world or any part of the world that you would want to share further of what you are actually doing or your experience and your encouragement to your peers around the world in the travel industry?
Well, I want to say you about Greeks. I will tell you. Here in Greece, we have something very well known to others, which is the hospitality. The Greek word is philoxenia.
Hospitality.
Yes, the Greek word is philoxenia. And the Greek word philoxenia literally
Okay.
translated as a friend to a stranger. For Greeks, it's much deeper than that. It is an unspoken culture law that shows generosity and courtesy to strangers. So you just have to visit us in order to have this unforgettable experience.
Okay, so I think I will get that word spelled correctly and put it into our website
Philoxenia.
later. Yeah. So
I'm writing to you right now.
yeah, we are having some transmission challenge. Yeah. Philoxenia, right?
Philoxenia,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a good word.
Philoxenia.
And I think hospitality
Philoxenia,
does play philoxenia, right?
yes.
Yeah, I think hospitality does play a very important role. And before we end our
Right.
session, I think we have a last question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at this pandemic challenge, and I think Greece went through one of a very severe economic crisis nearly 10 years back as well. So when it comes to sustainability, what would be your comment or your opinion on that in terms of sustainability for the tourism industry from a tourism industry player's point of view? How do you ensure the sustainability of your business or the overall industry when it comes to sustainable tourism?
Well,
What's your opinion or comment on that?
yes. As I told you before, if we go according to what we are told and what we
Yeah,
must do, we will avoid the standstill in tourism,
yeah,
and we will not be anymore in halt.
yeah,
Just to not ignore any. It's all for our health. So we cannot
yeah,
ignore any of the what we have to do.
yeah.
The
So
things that we have.
I think, yeah, safety comes first, right?
Of course, safety
Safety.
comes first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So I think we get your message. So any words other than philoxenia that you would like to share with us?
Um, the first the first word I said kalispera, and then the word goodbye, which is yasas, istoi panidin, which means we will meet again.
I see. That would be a nice word to really, I mean, to end the show with a very. So
Right.
can you spell the words? Maybe, yeah.
You would
How
like
would
to write
you?
it?
Yeah, no problem. You
Okay.
can
Isto epanidin.
esto es panidin.
Epanidin. Yes.
Epanidin. Okay, great. So I think we will end today's
Nice
show
to
with
meet
this
you.
word to our audience. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for hosting.
I think we are having a connection. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Or wait a little bit so that your line can move. Yeah, I think we are having some challenge from the connection.
Problem.
But
Okay.
anyhow, look forward to meet again. And thank you for coming to this talk show.
I thank you.
Wish you all the best, and hopefully everything is going back to normal, and we can start traveling and visiting each other very soon. All again.
Exactly.
Yep.
Stay safe. So stay safe and stay panevin.
Yeah. Esto Epanedin. Okay.
Bye
Thank you. See you.
bye.
Bye bye. So thank you very much for watching. So we'll end our show today. Thanks.